You know that feeling, right? You open up a new AI tool, you're ready to see what all the fuss is about, and then you're just staring at a blinking cursor with absolutely no idea what to type. Well, it's a super common feeling, and today we're going to talk about a simple cure for that blank page anxiety. Yep, this right here. You open that chat window, you see the huge empty box, the little blinking cursor, and your mind just goes blank. If this looks familiar, I want you to know you are so not alone. It's a really common hurdle, and we're going to get over it together. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to put a name to that blank page feeling. Then we'll get into why AI can feel so intimidating. And here's a hint, it's not you, it's the design. After that, I'm going to share a super simple copy-paste solution with 5 starter prompts you can use right away. And we'll wrap up by making sure you feel confident and in control the whole time. All right, first things first, let's talk about that moment of hesitation. It's a very real thing. And, sometimes just giving a problem a name is the first step to actually solving it. So, believe it or not, there's a name for this. It's called blank page paralysis. It's what happens when you've got all the options in the world, but no clear starting point. And the most important thing for you to hear is that this is not a personal failing. It's a known psychological thing that happens when our brains just get overwhelmed with too much choice. Okay, so if it's not us, then what is it? Why does this paralysis seem to happen so much with these new AI tools? Well, it turns out it has a lot less to do with you and a lot more to do with how they're actually designed. And I really want this to sink in. You are not the problem. The interface is. The truth is, most AI tools weren't really designed with cautious, thoughtful adults in mind. They kind of just throw you into this blank box and expect you to magically know what to do. Just think about the technology a lot of us grew up with. It had a clear structure, right? There were menus, there were buttons, there were forms to fill out. You knew where to click. But these AI tools are the complete opposite. They're just a big, wide-open box that says, ask me anything, but all the rules are kind of hidden. And that lack of structure can feel pretty stressful. And naturally, this brings up some very real, very valid concerns, especially for adults over 50. In fact, research from AARP shows that privacy is a huge barrier. You might be worried about sharing too much information, or saying the wrong thing, or just losing control of the conversation. And let me be clear, these are not signs of weakness. They're smart, healthy safety instincts. So how do we get past all this? Well, the answer is actually a lot simpler than you might think. We're going to build a little bridge to get you from feeling hesitant to feeling confident, and all it takes is a simple copy and paste. There's this great idea from the world of education called scaffolding, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a temporary support structure that helps you learn something new. A perfect way to think of it is like a fill-in-the-blanks form. It gives you the pattern to follow so you don't have to invent the whole thing from scratch. And this is exactly why scaffolding works so well. Using a starter prompt, which is really just a template, reduces what's called cognitive load. That's just a fancy way of saying it takes the pressure off your brain. You don't have to worry about the structure, so you can put all your energy into the important part, the details. All right, enough theory. Let's get really practical. Here are 5 starter prompts for common, everyday tasks that you can literally copy and paste today. We're talking about real-world stuff, like drafting one of those tricky emails you've been putting off, or summarizing a super long, confusing document, or how about turning your messy, scattered notes into a neat checklist? We'll even cover how to adjust your writing to sound a bit warmer and how to brainstorm ideas when you just feel stuck. First up, the email helper. This is perfect for those messages you just dread writing. You just fill in the brackets, who it's for, a topic, the tone you want, and your main points. The AI gives you a solid starting draft, but you are always in control of the final version. Next up, the summarizer. Oh, this one is a lifesaver. You ever get one of those super long notices from your bank or your doctor's office and just feel overwhelmed? With this, you just paste in the text and ask for a simple summary and a list of any actions you need to take. It's a huge time saver. Okay, this one might be my favorite, the checklist creator. If your head feels cluttered with a bunch of notes for a trip or an appointment, just dump them all in here. The AI will organize everything for you into a nice, clean checklist. It's like having a little personal assistant for your brain. Now, the tone adjuster. We've all written an email, read it back, and thought, oof, that sounds a little harsh. Well, this is like having your own personal editor. You paste your message and just ask the AI to make it a little warmer or clearer or more professional. It helps make sure your message lands just right. And last but not least, the idea generator. This is fantastic for those times you're just stuck.
Maybe you need a gift idea for someone or a plan for the weekend. You just tell it your limits, your budget, your energy level, and it'll suggest a few realistic options that are tailored just for you. Okay, so you've got the tools. But now for the most important part, how to use them safely and with confidence. This last part is all about making sure that you are always in the driver's seat.
And I know what you're probably thinking, because it's the big question on everyone's mind. Is it really safe to share my details? You've got the prompt ready to go, and then you pause. What can I actually type in here? And let me tell you, that hesitation isn't just reasonable, it's smart. So here is a super simple rule of thumb to keep you safe. I call it the postcard test. If you wouldn't write a piece of information on the back of a postcard for anyone and everyone to see, then just don't put it into a public AI tool. It's that easy. Instead of using real names or numbers, you can just use placeholders like account number or my friend's name. And please remember, your first prompt is just the start of a conversation. The first answer you get back almost never has to be the final one. If the AI gives you something that's way too long or sounds too formal, just talk back to it. You can say things like, "Can you make this shorter and friendlier?" Or "Can you use more everyday language?" Think of it as a collaboration. So what's a realistic next step? Look, the goal here is not to become an AI expert overnight. Your next step is simply to pick one of these prompts, whichever one seems most useful to you right now, and just try it on one real task this week. That's it. That small step is a huge win. Because again, this isn't about mastering some mountain of new technology. It's just about finding a few simple tools that might make your life a little smoother. Getting one helpful email drafted or one long document summarized, that's a perfect place to start. If you are ready to get started and would like to find more prompts and safety tips, you can find them at radosimpleai.com. I really hope this helps you take that first step with confidence.